Yo, yo, yo. Good morning. Come allez-vous? It's, what is it, a Tuesday? Good to see you. My name is Wayne McDonald. He, him, his. I'm a cis male. Let's go. Let me remind you that trading's risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to Forex.Today. Thank you very much for being part of the community. Thank you for leaving comments and being a subscriber and participating and asking questions and treating your fellow Forex traders with the dignity and respect that they deserve. Thank you for being a positive influence on the world, and thank you for all the hard work that you put in to learning how to trade Forex successfully. If these webinars are helpful to your development as a currency trader, then please show some respect to the sponsor of these webinars, tradersway.com. Visit tradersway.com, fill out the little form to open up the demo account, and about 30 seconds later, you can be in your back office, you can download MT4, you can play some trades, check out the execution speed, check out the swaps, check out the spreads, and then one day, when you're ready to trade because you've gained the confidence and skills that you needed through these webinars, then perhaps you'll choose Traders Way as your broker. Simple enough. So it's a symbiotic relationship. They're investing into you up front. What's up with my hair this morning? I look like the boss at the end in Tommy Boy. Here's a movie I need to watch with my children. Anyways. Oh, wait. Justin Tarr says he's a straight male, but that's not a pronoun. You're supposed to say, my name is Wayne McDonald. I'm in the United States of America. He, his, him. Those are pronouns. Also, I'm a cis male, which I found out yesterday means I identify with the sex I was born with, which would be, I guess, closer to what you're saying there. All right. Cool. So I think you see pound yen. We talked about this. Do you remember? We talked about this. That sets up the basis of a reversal. That's called a 1, 2, 3. Roll reversal. And back into this resistance and maybe down. We don't know because it's really kicking off this area. Okay? All very textbook price action. No, Saeed, we can do gold. Molly from Uganda, East Africa, right on, female. Again, the way that it goes now in a lot of my Harvard classes is your name, right? Maybe your major and your pronouns. So the other day I'm like, what the frick is my pronoun? Turns out he, him, his. I'm in a diversity and inclusion class. So which means I'm with a lot of women that are in HR. So these things are very quick. where I'm like, what is she saying? She, his, she, her, hers. But I can't even hear it. It goes so fast. Like, what did she just say? And then some the other day, you know, cis female, queer cis female. I'm like, queer. Okay, she's gay. What's a cis female? And then someone else cis female. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I'm like Googling, what's a cis female? Oh, she was born a girl and she considers herself a girl. She identifies herself with a girl. I'm like, oh. So my wife's like, so I text her. I'm like, I'm a cis male. I'm a cis male. She's like, what's a cis male? Like, Google it. I'm in the middle of the class. She's like, oh, we used to just call them straight. You're just straight. I'm like, yeah, I know. So anyways, yeah, so it's really interesting. Right? Yeah, it's very interesting how quickly the world can change. All of a sudden, I'm a dinosaur. When I speak in class, they're like, you can just see the professor. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God. So anyways, that's me. All right, so if you're a bear, what do you stink? Oops. What did I just do? Don't do that. What did I just do? Don't do that. All right. I just clicked on something. All right. The day trading course is still at swing.fxbootcamp.com. Craig says, what do you think about the 1,000-point decline in the Dow yesterday? It was awesome. So, up, down, up, down. Okay? If you're a bear. Now, I have this set as a bear. You remember we discussed it yesterday as a bear. We had this, right? Look at this. Pull back. See the roll reversal? Let me get in there a little bit more. Let's kind of get our hands dirty a little bit. Follow the candles. Follow the candles. Let me do this. Let me make it. Okay. This might work. There's the gap, except I wanted that black. Okay. Down, 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 down. But we talked about this yesterday. Gap down, but you either were a bear on Friday or you're a bear now, if you're a bear. You let the gap fill, and then you continue mission. Okay? Then what? We talked about this yesterday. Down, 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 down. We were in the midst of this down, 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 down. So, let it rise back up. See, back into the moving averages, basically a roll reversal. Down, 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 down. Back up. Roll reversal again. Maybe, just maybe, we don't know. Down, 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 down. Okay? If you're a bear, that's very basic price action. Here's an hourly chart. Okay? You could have shorted Friday. We call that a Friday front run. Then fill the gap. Okay? Back into the roll reversal. What used to be resistance is resistance again. Head and shoulders pattern, if you want to call it that. Okay? Anyways, down, 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 down. Watch how it's following the moving averages. Back into the moving averages. Once again, you would kind of look left here. And, you know, you're looking at this now as a roll reversal. Okay? Down, 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 down. End of day. End of day. So what would you be thinking now if you were a bear? Don't even worry about it if you're a bull. We only have this set up if you're a bear. So if you're a bear, you're gonna think down. I know that because you're a bear. So you're gonna watch these moving averages and you're gonna try to kick it down. Okay? Try to kick it down. Could it possibly breach higher? Yes, and that's where you should temper your enthusiasm. Okay? Bum, bum, bum. Got it? Price action. Any thoughts? Any questions? Banger, did you find the day trading course? Remember, when you join the swing trading group, you get the swing trading course and the day trading course at the same price. They're included. Swing.fxbootcamp.com. What will what do to the... What will what do affect the what? Affect any effect at all for us to watch for? Are you talking about the stock market still, Craig? I think that's what you were talking about before, right? Was that you? Yeah, you buy yen. You buy dollar, you buy Swiss franc. That's why we're buying yen. I think that's what you're asking. If not, I apologize. I missed your question. Yeah. All right, so let's go back here. Here's what you do when the stock market falls, Craig. You keep buying Swiss franc. Oh, look. So here's Swiss franc falling. Down, down, down. Off of the 4-hour 21. Why is this important? Okay. Where are my swing traders? How many people here are in the swing trading group? Hey, Coco, turn your caps off. That's considered rude in chat. Okay. Where are my swing traders? Hello, swing traders. Who's in the swing trading group? What is the acronym we use for this setup? And Coco types okay in gaps. Come on, Coco. That's funny though. What's the acronym? OOP. Yeah, you know me. Very good, crypto. The prophet of rage. Yeah. You get that, crypto? Prophet of rage. Crypto's the prophet of rage. Yeah, OOP. How do you trade an OOP if you're a swing trader? Yeah, that's all right, crypto. Knowledge is power. Four-hour 21. Oh, snap. You sell off the 4-hour 21. You're welcome. Yeah, you know me. Isn't that lovely? Lovely. With your smile so worn and your teeth so green. Baby, you smell like Vaseline. All right. So that's cool, right? Sell, down, 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 up, up, sell, down, 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 up, up. This is a great sell. Down, 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 up, up. This is a great sell. Down, 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 up, up. This is a great sell. No lower low. So therefore you don't sell the lower high. Lower low, up, up, sell, down, 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 down. And then in the future, sell, down, 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 down. In the future, sell until that stops working. Indonesia. I'd like to visit Indonesia. think I should do like a Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia trip. I have a good friend, I believe he's in Malaysia. And of course, I have a good friend, Daniel, in Singapore. Yeah, any more planning for the zombie apocalypse? You know, we're just discussing like what food to buy and all that kind of stuff. Malaysia's good. Karen Fu, sure. All right. Why don't you introduce us, Tova? Yeah. By the way, someone said, "Hey, man, I'm from Kenya. You should come to Kenya." I'm like, "Invite me. Get 100 people together in a room. Send me an email." Where did that person go? Maybe that was at NFP. Put 100 people together. Let's go anywhere in the world. You'll never know what it might do. All right. Yeah, we got pretty good. We finished Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5. I got Far Cry 3. And we have the new one too, which is stupid, but we're pretty much done that one. So I think it's Far Cry 5, the best video game ever made. It's one of those video games where I miss being in the game. Imagine that just psychologically. Like it's so real to your mind that you miss it. You like being there. You get the endorphins and stuff in your brain, like you're sitting in a warm, flowery field with a view of the hills and the sound of a rippling creek nearby, right? The coo of a dove. But it's real, and yet you're in this game. And then imagine the game has a real world. You can do whatever you want. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want, but it's huge. Imagine you can get in a car, drive 60 miles an hour, and it'll take you, an hour to get the other side of the game. But you can walk it. So it would take you hours and hours and hours to walk from one side of the map to the other, but you can do it. Now, after a while, you get to know the entire map. You know every field, you know every pasture. You know every hill range. You've been to the top of that mountain. And on the other side, you've been to the top of that mountain. After a while, it's absolutely totally real. This is the basis, actually, of my book. I do a lot of psychological stuff in the book. I talk about this where your brain doesn't know the difference between a thought and an observation. So, like, if you read a book, while you read a book, at least I go from reading the words and translating it into English, translating that into a meaning, to all of a sudden I picture what the character looks like, what they're wearing, the room they're in. And good writers do this. They do the room first, and then they focus on the character, and then the emotion of the moment, and right? And all of a sudden you can picture it. It's real. Right? Because really, your brain is this mushy gray stuff inside your head. It can't see, touch, taste, smell, or hear anything. So you got hearing that translates vibrations of air into electrical chemical energy that we call sound. And your eyes input light, and they actually input it upside down, so your brain's got to turn around, all this. But it takes this input from the light sources, your eyeballs, and convert that into electrical chemical energy and say, okay, that's what this is. And then what you touch and all this kind of stuff, what you touch, it goes from your nerves through your nervous system and eventually gets to your brain and converts it to electrical chemical energy, right? So your brain can't actually see your charts. So if you close your eyes and think of yesterday's pound yen setup, it's just as real as if you're looking at the trade now. That's the power of practice. If you're practicing properly, your brain doesn't know if you're doing it or not doing it. In fact, you are doing it, you're just doing it with your mind. So if you follow the rules of engagement of my book, I talk about over the course of 1 year, you can have 3 years of trading experience. Correct? It's very, very powerful, your mind. Very, very powerful. Okay? Your mind will tell you if everyone around you is a liar and a thief, or your mind will tell you that everyone is basically good and honest. And from that, you'll determine how you walk and wander through the world and through society, and the whole time you'll confirm your beliefs. I don't like spicy food. Why? It gives me upset stomach. It might not be the spicy food, but like people do this. After a while, they never eat spicy food, and you're like, dude, you don't eat spicy food because in 1987, you got diarrhea from Thai food? Maybe it was just food poisoning. Maybe not all Thai food's bad, right? Oh, I don't eat Thai food. Oh, I don't eat any spicy food. Oh, I don't even eat Asian food. Whoa, 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 whoa. And people get themselves, by the time you're my age, you're like, I only eat at this restaurant when I go to New York, and I always get the steak, and then I have the Macallan, and when that's done, then I go down the street, and I smoke my cigar, and then I go to my hotel room, and I fly home. And you end up doing the same thing every time you go to New York, because you've said, this one thing will make me happy, and it avoids everything that makes me unhappy. And, and then you get into routine. It's really funny. Mental. Doesn't mean it's real. Well, it's real for you. Right? So anyways. So. Your mind is real. The thing is, are you standing at a golf driving range? Can you guys think of this? You're at a driving range at a golf course. Are you just smacking balls left and right? 1,000 balls, 10,000 balls, 100,000 golf balls, but you're just smashing them left and right and super high and top it onto the ground and then, slice, 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 hook, slice, 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 hook, slice, slice, slice. Maybe if you hit 20,000 balls, at some point you'll get better. Probably not, right? So I want you to think about what you're doing and have some intent on the way that you practice. I want you to think of not trading on a demo to get profitable. I want you to think about you training yourself. Okay? And one of the things, Taylor, stop doing that or I'm kicking you out. Okay? Practice with intent. The whole idea of trading, if you think about it, what is a bias? Right? Or when I teach you, like, when I say the first hour of the first day of the new month and all this kind of stuff, when you day trade, like the time, we focus on timing a lot. What is all of that about? It's about intent. If you sit down and you look for a trade, you will find it. It's as easy as taking a ball out of the bucket, smacking it out there. You probably will hit it, and it's probably going to go high and to the right if you're right-handed. Right? Yeah, and Carlos, that's a really good point. And feel like, oh, well, I made a loss, but and I'm just practicing. I'm just, right? Oh, I hit another slice. It's cool. I got another 100 balls. I have another 99 balls. What's the big deal? First one's a slice. Second one's a slice. It's all right. I got a lot of balls. Oh, it's only $5. No. Right? If you're like most golfers, no, it's not just $5 in a bucket of balls. You've been golfing for 35 years, and by and large, you still suck. Well, do you want to trade Forex for 35 years and still be upper mediocre, be very experienced at being mediocre? No, 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 right? So you got to practice with intent. The reason you practice with intent, you must trade with intent. So when you sit down at your charts, you know you want to sell the pound yen either at the end of the day today or tomorrow morning. That's intent. So like I showed you on that pound yen trade that we just did. Oops, sorry, MHB, I accidentally hit that. I showed you on the pound yen earlier, and it was up and up and up for 3 days. And I said, look, you're supposed to have a longer term bias. If you're a bear on that Friday, or what, I think it was a Friday, it was an absolute clear front run. But let's say it's too risky for you over the weekend. I totally get that. But Monday, oh my gosh, that was so ridiculously obvious. If you were a bear, there were like 3 ridiculous reasons to sell it. But you weren't sure at the time because you didn't have the plan, you didn't have the bias, or the confidence to follow it up. But whatever. But if you had intent, you said, on Sunday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern time, when the markets open, I will be at my charts with the pound yen open, and I want to sell at that price for show, and then it happens, you take it. The issue is, I don't think you got that quite yet. You're still just hitting a bucket of balls, hit another bucket, hit 10 buckets. But I want you to be afraid of being here 35 years from now and still being mediocre. You can't trade yourself into success. You have to work at the success, right? So I tell my kids, like when they go into competitions for robotics or Science Olympiad or whatever it is, right? Or, my daughter does band as well, right? I say, look, you win by practicing. You practice and you practice and you practice. And when you think about everyone else not practicing, then you practice. And when they practice, you practice. And when they don't practice, you practice. But when you show up to competition, you're there just to show everyone the art of what you do. It'll seem easy to you from their point of view. You will display the beauty of the talent that you earned through that work. And it's just sort of a formality for you to go out there, allow everyone to appreciate what you do, motivate everyone else to have that greatness, and pick up your trophy. The competition is just a formality for you to show up, pick up your trophy, and motivate everyone for greatness. But you earn that through respect, not or through practice, not by just showing up and maybe this week you'll hit the shot. No, it should almost be inevitable. And I want you to think about trading like that too. It's through the practice, the very deliberate practice. Doing things like only trading a hammock 100 times in a row until you've mastered it. You sort of physically, psychologically, metaphysically, whatever, you have a confidence that that you can spot a head and shoulders setting up or a hammock, a 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern is the other way, right? You are very experienced and confident at spotting conditions in which a 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern will set up. You're very experienced at preparing to trade it, being at the right place at the right time to trade that scenario, taking the trade, managing the risk, letting it follow through, and banking the money. And 60% of the time it works every time. But because the value of the risk-reward ratio, that's 60% of the time you're successful and 40% of the time you're not successful, is hugely profitable. But it's not from just sitting and like, what do we want to do here? Euro dollar, I guess we should short or long or something, right? That's not what you need to do. It's all about intent. About intent. Before you do something, what is it that you intended to do yesterday? Right? Don't do anything today if you didn't plan it yesterday. Okay? Coco says, Wayne, let's say we have a strong Swissy today. Yep. How do you pick? That's called relative strength, Coco. Thank you, JT. That's called relative strength. So here's a great, easy way to do this, Coco. Yes, I like that. Carlitos says, yeah, reverse engineer everything. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. All right, how do you pick one? This is called relative strength. So first of all, to make this decision, now of course the answer always is, oh, well, you should know the fundamentals of all these economies, which is true. If you're going to be a success as a currency trader, you should fully understand the fundamentals of every one of these economies. Canada, Great Britain, right? New Zealand, and Australia. You should know these things, okay? Now, I'm not going to end it there, but you should work your way to that point, okay? But let's say you don't know nothing about that. Okay, cool. So how do you do it technically? Well, the constant here is Swiss franc, and it's all on the denominator, okay? The denominator is Swiss franc, the denominator is Swiss franc, the denominator is Swiss franc, the denominator is Swiss franc. Great. So, and we're all on the 4-hour time frame. Great. Now, your job here is to find out, are they all going in the same direction? If so, then that tells you the relative strength of the Swiss franc relative to everything else. It's kind of like having an index. And in fact, it is the basis of an index. So to make this more clear, Swiss franc, right, for about a week has been much stronger than the Canadian dollar. Okay? The Swiss franc has been moderately stronger than the pound. So now we know the pound is also stronger than the CAD. We can see over the last week or so, the Swiss franc has been stronger than the Kiwi. So now we know pound is stronger than CAD, pound is stronger than Kiwi, and it's a little weaker and almost neutral currently with the Swiss franc. Okay? And then lastly, over the last week or so, Swiss franc has been stronger than the Aussie dollar. So now we know pound is stronger than CAD, Kiwi, and Aussie, and about neutral to here. So that can set you up with a pound CAD trade, a pound Kiwi trade, a pound Aussie trade, or whatever, however they put them together as far as cross pairs. But you can start looking at cross pairs, okay? Plus you can sell these Swissy pairs, and you probably want to avoid the pound because pound relative to the Swiss franc is actually fairly neutral. So this is called a relative strength exercise. And from that, Swissy versus everything, and then you can reverse engineer, well, you know, the relative strength of the other ones. Are they neutral? Are they stronger? Are they weaker? Is how you actually create indices. Okay? Pound is neutral. CAD is weak. Kiwi is weak. Aussie is weak. Swiss franc is strong. I just did that. I said Swissy and Kiwi are about the same. Stay away from it. But you can buy, right? You can buy the pound versus Aussie. You can buy the pound versus Kiwi. You can buy the pound versus CAD. And you can buy the Swissy against the Aussie, buy the Swissy versus the Kiwi, buy the Swissy versus the CAD, but don't buy the Swissy versus pound, and don't buy the pound versus Swissy. We got all of that through this relative strength exercise. Now, I prefer you do it this way because you have a better understanding of why and how much and when will it change, because you're using technical indicators. You're not just using indices, because indices just tell you what's happened in the past. It doesn't say, oh snap, look at that reversal area. Because technical indicators will help you say, well, it's been very bearish, but this is likely where it might stop being bearish. So now you say, well, I've been selling CAD Swissy, but I think I should stop for now. That's the power of having things like a leading indicator, like these pivot points. These pivot points are a leading indicator. So your indice chart won't tell you that it's going to flip. It just says it's been down and down and down and down. Good. This says down, 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 down. Stop! That is valuable information. Now, one of the reasons it's valuable information, many years ago, I wrote a magazine article about the difference between a good trader and a great trader. And a good trader knows how to follow indicators. And they're really good. They have patience, they have discipline, and they sell here, great. They sell here, great. They sell here, great. They sell here, great. They sell here, bad. They sell again, bad. And I said the difference between a good trader and a great trader is that a great trader stops selling. They just take their profit and they're done. They work less. And then I did the math here, that this ends up being the equivalent of giving 30 to 40% back. So you work less, take less risk, and you end up making 40% more money on the long run. And that's because you're not just following lagging indicators. Okay, you know when to hold them, you know when to fold them, you know when to walk away, know when to run. This says hold them, fold them, hold them, fold them, right? Sell, right? Out, sell, out, and then walk away. Sell, right? Or sell, load the boat, and now exit. But these are all leading indicators, right? Exit, re-enter. Okay, like this, very obvious sell. This is a very obvious target. Look at how price reacted. This is a very obvious sell, and it's predicting you should get out right around here. Well, look how long we hung out there. Okay? This is a you get out every day of the week scenario, and this is a re-enter if you're a bear. Like they're very specific rules of engagement to when to walk away and when to come back to the table. Okay? Cool, right? Relative strength exercise. So when this webinar is over, maybe you'll leave a comment under the video. You'll say, Wayne, that was an excellent relative strength exercise example. I learned a lot. Now, the reason for it is in YouTube, I believe you can look at the comments you've made, and that would be a way to reference that video. So maybe 6 months from now, 9 months from now, 9 years ago, since I've been doing these videos for 15 years, 9 years from now, you're like, wait, I should probably watch that relative strength exercise again. And you go to your comments, do a quick search. Oh, here it is. And on the 25th of February, 2020, that was the video I liked. Snap. Yeah. Well, congratulations for living a full 16 years. Cisco, right? Cisco, can you even hear what I'm going to say next? Of course it's a good idea. So my professor was about to start talking about a new topic, and somebody said, cut her off and asked a question when homework was due, but she was in the process of saying it when she got cut off, and she mumbled to herself as she was responding to this unexpected interruption, she's going to tell, she's going to tell. That's all she said, and then she started talking, and I typed, because this is an online class, well, half the students are in the room and half are online, so it's I forget what they call it, so it's not an online class, it's live, but anyways, so I'm online. So I said, is that a Monty Python reference? And she stopped, she was like, oh, Wayne, that's good. Does anyone know that reference? She's going to tell, That's all she said. I'm like, oh my God. Monty Python, Quest for the Holy Grail. Thank you, Mikhailovich. Do I talk about relative strength in my book? Probably. Yeah, Monty Python. All right. So, anyways, making money on the Swissy. Oh, who brought up the peso trade yesterday? Yeah, the problem is I like the young Ray Dalio. I don't the new guy, the new the new the new Ray Dalio. Mm. All right. Who brought up the peso trade yesterday? I like the color of $100 bill, Jimbo. I also like that smell. No, I think Ray Dalio's gotten arrogant at the end of his life. I think maybe he's deserved it, but I think he's a nutcase. But I think that led him to be a success. So when he prices what does, the price of chicken feed leading to the price of chicken, which is a substitute for beef and all this kind of stuff, that totally makes sense. I totally get it. A lot of people struggle with that. I actually find that stuff makes sense to me, right? And I have these conversations with my kids about trading and investing, right? But the 157 different rules, and then he goes out and he's like, oh, let me do this. I mean, it's gone to where it's gone too far. Let's just say. All right. So I wanted to. I don't know who brought up that peso trade yesterday, but I talked about it about being dangerous and a gamble and a couple of other things. So I wanted to break it down, and I did it differently. Okay, so the idea was selling up here made a ton of sense, but it was risky. Why? Because we wanted a reversal pattern. Okay, of some sort. So what I did is I played a price action move off of the resistance. Oops. Does this make sense? This move here? Let me fatten up that marker. Does this make sense here? Instead of just saying it's gone too far, so sell up in here and it has to go down, that's a bit of a gamble, right? Let me add some time to this just to make sure you have a frame of reference. Okay? So the frame of reference was earlier in the month I had shorted, we had hit here and I jammed my stop here. Do you guys remember that? So I was already a bear. I was already short. I already made money. Okay? And all of that ended here a couple of days ago. It popped up and knocked me out. Okay? Cool. So there's the basis of that. And then it went up and up and up, crazy up, and very, very bullishly. Somebody said yesterday, they're like, hey man, I just shorted here. What do you stink? Right? Are we back to where we were yesterday? You might want to look it up if you don't quite remember it. But I said, whoa, 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 that's gambling. No, I don't like this. I said, I get it. I know what you're doing. I fully understand. I see all the resistance, but that's gambling. Right? You guys now remember? And I'm saying that as a bear. So I said, what you want is to have the patterns and stuff, right? So like in the day trading course, we have this new template, bearish. Okay, reaffirm your fundamental bias. Yes, I want to sell Mexican peso because of the spread. Great, the carry. Great. Second one, confirm the trend in the market. Is this bearish? Yes, it is. Third, identify the Asian fade. Fourth, fifth, right? See this checklist you can run through, double check your settings. Okay, so this is kind of what we were talking about, right? This lacked a reversal pattern yesterday. By the way, check this out. We knew yesterday, this period here, when whoever was gambling, we knew this yesterday that this was the sell zone in the Asian, what we call the Asian fade, right? Which is a big part of day trading. So this is the very obvious day trade on this pair, right? This is obvious. This was a bit of a gamble. Okay? So there's that sort of thought process of, like, before you get in it, how can you mitigate your risk? And that's all I was saying yesterday, that we didn't have that quite yet. So going back to this, this confluence scenario, I understand we have this, I understand that we have the weekly target hit and the monthly extreme target, and that all bulls should be taking profit. All I was suggesting is you need a double top or a lower high first, and then even then you'll probably get a second, a double top of a double top. So I got down, 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 up, up, roll reversal, up, 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 and then down. This is my pattern, right? So let's go into this a little bit. I think I can get one more click in. Yeah, so I looked left, I dragged this across after the lower low, see, lower low. I looked left, I grabbed the shoulder, I pulled it across. What was my plan? Down, 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 up, up, roll reversal off of the monthly pivot as resistance, short, boom. That's where I'm short. And then, if you were a day trader, you would have had no issue selling that. In fact, blindly obvious, in your face, ridiculous, straightforward sell on a daily basis. This is a swing trade. This is a day trade. Cool. Cool. And with that in mind, I feel like I'm having a sugar low. So we're going to have to call it an end of the day. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. About an hour, not quite, 45 minutes. I need to eat before I get into trouble. So, gotta go. Thank you for being on my team. Peace on earth. May the pips be